People say I've got a great smile. Well, I have to say, this is all thanks to the professional team at Beacon Dental Group right here in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I've got world-class dental care. Beacon Dental Group has expert and caring staff dedicated to providing the most advanced and satisfactory treatment in all aspects of oral health. Their services are designed to meet your needs and give you a perfect smile, too. General checkups, cosmetic surgery, Gemini laser service, and advanced procedures, all in a state-of-the-art facility. Call or visit Beacon Dental Group today, 1026 Blue Hill Avenue, Dorchester, Massachusetts, or call 617-282-2146 for a smile that lights the world. People.
Everybody, welcome to another episode of CB's Corner. What a joy, what a privilege, and what an honor for me to be back with you. And it is even more joyous to have a person that I know. He really is in my corner. From my corner, we walked the streets of Bathurst, going up from school. As we walked, I went to the St. Mary's Academy. He went to Dominica Grammar School. We won't hold that against him. My friend and my brother, Dr. John Lowe Black. Welcome to CB Scholar, my brother.
Oh, I like the way you said it, because I was waiting for you to pause for me to say, unfortunately, you went to the other school, and I went to DGS, the very good school. But like you, I wouldn't hold that against you. But it's such a pleasure to be with you, and it really fills my heart to know that I can have a conversation after so many years, and it seemed like we just hit the ground running all over again. So thank you for the invitation. I much appreciate it.
Absolutely, my friend. Your brother and I went to school together, actually. The other brother, the attorney. And so yes, it was nice always. What I recall, my great recollection of you is that you had this booming kick in soccer, man. When you pick that ball, you kick it from one goal to the next. And I thought you probably would go on to play professionally around the world. What happened?
Well, that's interesting, and that you brought that up, because that was the goal. At one time, a group of us, we thought we were developing that professional team, because we had aspirations, and there was an individual who will remain nameless, who sold us on the idea that it was possible he could get us to the United States to play soccer. So there were times I should have been in class learning, reading, writing, and arithmetic, but I was somewhere out there playing soccer, because soccer, I will say today, is the reason why I am able to speak with you as confidently as I do, because once upon a time, there was nothing but soccer I was told I was good at. Everything else I was horrendous at. But when it came to soccer, or football, as we like to say back home, that is where people start letting me know that there was something in me that if I nurtured properly, I could become something. I did not become that professional soccer player, but I feel the road that I have traveled has enabled me to impact more people in a more positive way than if I had just played professional soccer.
Absolutely. Soccer was the vehicle. Like you, I played sports, and I thought that was my way to get into where I needed to go. I played cricket, and I had a passion for it. And I was disappointed when I did not make the national team, which I thought I should have. Of course, you can lament certain things, but when you look at where you are, you say, thank God. Sometimes things happen. At the moment it happens, we get upset, we blame society, we blame people. Maybe some of them deserve to be blamed, but we do not understand that maybe God is orchestrating something for us in a different path so that we can have a different impact in society. And so you didn't play soccer, but you migrated to the United States. And here you are. Can you just give us a quick background as to what you do and what led you to do what you're doing right now?
Well, maybe my story is similar to yours. You went to the U.S. Virgin Islands. I went to a small city in Texas, Midwestern State University in Wichita Falls, Texas. And I left Dominica with $2,000 in my pocket because I was told that you can make it. It's America. You can make it. I was 33 years old at the time. So I said, well, I'm still relatively young. I I can still play soccer, so why don't try out on Midwestern University's soccer team, see if I could get a scholarship. Well, I was young, but not as young as every other player on that team. And trust me, the only question I got was, how old are you? How old are you? Well, Dominica was hot when I left, but the Texas heat was a totally different story. The first day, 108 degrees.
Wow.
By the third day, I said, wait a while, I might get a scholarship, I might not. I can't take the heat. So I quit. But then I needed to find a vehicle that would enable me to take care of my boarding and lodging and my tuition. So at that time, a friend, a guy that I just met, his name is Michael. Now he's from Ghana. He's now a big-time plastic surgeon in California. He was working in the dish room on campus dining, and he wanted to quit because he hated that job. Well, I wanted a means of income. So he brought me to the manager. I got the job. At that time, I was working for $4.10 an hour. On the first day of the job, they took me to the staff restroom to clean the restroom. All I could say is, whilst I was cleaning, not looking at what I was doing, all that came to my mind is, you left Dominica where you were working in shirt and tie at Mapping Television, and here you are cleaning someone else's, you know what. But then it hit me. It's legal, it's moral. So I humbled myself. And wait not for that $4.10, I would not be able to be speaking to you here today. It saw me through. Not only it gave me an income, but I was able to eat for free, although it was against campus dining policy. I made friends with all the workers. They allowed me to slide in. I got my meals. It was so hard that I graduated, but I was unable to receive my diploma. I was in debt to the university. Fortunately, I was able to work through. I got my diploma. Then I moved from Wichita Falls to San Marcos, Texas, to go to Texas State University. Interestingly enough, the manager who hired me at Midwestern State University in Wichita Falls had changed companies. Now he was working, instead of Aramark, he was working with Compass Foods. He was the manager at Texas State. I got hired, but this time, not in the dish room. I was a student manager. No more toilets cleaning. I was now telling people to clean the toilets. And the best thing that happened to me is the Compass Foods decided to agree to pay 50% of my tuition.
Wow.
And I paid 50% of my tuition on condition that I signed a 1-year agreement to work with them immediately after graduation. Well, back in 2000, $38,000 to start. They'll have to beg for a job. I got a job. I moved to Connecticut. I hated food service. So I became a substitute teacher. And ever since, I've never left education. And that's from 2000 to now. I got my master's, I should have said, in Texas State in human resource development. I wanted to just teach. I started, though, doing a master's in counseling. But after the first semester, I said, John, do you want to listen to people's problems for 8 hours a day for the next 30 to 40 years? I said, I don't think so. But probably I should have stayed in counseling, because guess what I've been doing? I've been listening to people's problems, kids from first grade, when I was a first grade teacher, middle school kids, high school kids, college students, and I've not gotten paid for it. But I continue to do it because to me, there's nothing better than seeing somebody grabbing onto something that you said and holding that and using that to create miraculous changes in their lives. And so when I moved to Florida, because my brother and sister were in Florida, I moved in Florida in 2002. I continued in education. I got my doctoral degree from Nova Southeastern University. I worked at Strayer University as a campus dean. And ever since, I have not left education. Now, just to sum up everything, I'm working pretty much for myself, doing training and development, helping people to believe in themselves more than they ever thought possible.
Awesome, awesome. That's a quick summation of where you have been, and it's amazing. And what I have found out over the years is that many success stories like yours have that kind of beginning, coming into a position where you felt, man, I left something good to come into that, not realizing that that is what will propel you to the next level. And so that in itself is an interesting way we can segue right into that and talk about how, you know, when you find yourself in a sticky situation, when you come at a crossroads, when you feel that you're not going anywhere, what do you do? How do you get that drive to move forward? Because that's a powerful teaching tool I find to tell people, you know, just because you are in a funk right now doesn't mean that's the end of the world. You know, you are still young. You 33 years is young in comparison to other people. And 10 years from now, you can become a millionaire. You can become somebody famous by just sticking to what you want to do. Can you just talk to us about that a little bit?
Well, former Secretary of State Colin Powell said it most beautifully. He said, there's a reason the rearview mirror in your car is smaller than the windscreen or windshield. What's in front of you is more important than what's behind you. Amen. And we need to find ways to appreciate that wherever we are, that's where we are. How we define where we are, that's what makes the difference. So you mentioned the word funk. Who said you're in a funk? You just were unable or have not been able to find a way to get to where you want to go. Now you have a choice. If you give up, you will never get there. But like Thomas Edison said, when they told him, Mr. Edison, do you know you have failed thousands of times? He said, I have not failed. I've just found thousands of ways that it will not work. So what we have to try to do, and it might be difficult, we are humans, so if we are not getting the results that we want, it's okay to feel a particular way. It's okay, as long as you don't remain in that way forever. This is where I am. This is what I wanted. This is what I have tried. But what if I try this way? What if I ask someone else who may have gone through a similar situation, what they use to help them navigate the rough waters that they will ride? So yes, it's okay, you're human. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay, I'll even use a stronger word, to be miserable. As long as you do not allow yourself to remain in misery forever. Everything is contextual. This is what happened. I failed the bar exam. But I'm not a failure. If I really want to practice law, I have to try again. So I identify the strategies I use that led to the failure and ask myself, what do I need to tweak? So we need to be the best coach that we can be for ourselves. And one way we can do that is to use the most powerful weapon we have at our disposal, asking questions. We need to ask ourselves questions because questions will lead us. If we do not ask the same questions, that is, and if we do not ask questions when we try to find answers from someone else, if we keep asking the same people the same questions, we'll keep getting the same answers. But if we do like what the late Wayne Dyer said, change the way you look at things and the things you look at will change. Because what you're seeing in front of you is because of how you look at it. It might not change, but your perspective will change, and therefore you'll get different answers. So yes, I did not get to where I wanted to go. No. But I can get there if I change, if I become more resilient, if I become more determined, and if I become smarter in how I approach whatever it is that's in front of me.
Well, thank you so much for saying that. In our conversation prior to the broadcast, I found out that you also are a minister, which it's right up my alley. And you teach and you encourage people. You're an educator, and that is awesome. And so one of the things that I found out, and in your conversation when you were talking about how you get to where you talk about Mark and about this person, that there's always somebody. Somehow I find, and I want to call it's God's putting an angel in your corner to lead you. We don't look at it from that standpoint until maybe years later, they say, wow, that person came into my life right on time. So talk to me about the need for being grateful, for being thankful, but associating yourself and being sensitive enough to see that somebody that is there was there to help you to get to the other side.
Well, I love to say that if God in his infinite wisdom thought CB alone was all that he needed to make it in this world, the 7+ billion of us would not be necessary. But God placed other people in our lives for a reason. What happens to us in the society in which we live, we like this self-made stuff. But no one is self-made. There was someone who encouraged that person to become who they became. There was someone who bought the services or the products that that person had for sale. So we need to find a way to get the ego out of the way. Because as long as we think that I made this, it's all me, we're in trouble. Because what we are creating is we're creating a monster that others will run away from. And when we need them, they won't be there because it's all about us. So we first have to feel and realize that we are not in this alone. If we can develop the mindset that other people have been placed in our lives to help us, not hurt us, although some do, but we need to find a way to separate those who are consistently serving as the wind beneath our wings from those who consistently trying to clip our wings. And yes, some of them might be family members. Our family members are our family members. It does not mean that we have to share everything with our family members, especially if those family members are the ones who consistently remind us of all the things we will never be able to do. You know, your dad never graduated high school. What makes you think you're going to graduate high school? Nobody in your family ever went to college. What makes you think you're going to be the first? Yeah, well, we need to kind of stay away from those individuals who consistently sap our energy, because they're right in front of us. We know them.
That's right.
So we have to do more to control what we can control. And what I can control is how much time I spend with those who sap my energy. And what I can control is the time that I spend with those who boost my energy. So we have some control over it. And to understand and appreciate that you are never, ever walking alone. Even when you think you are, you aren't. So it's awareness, being aware, and doing something with that awareness, so that that pothole that you drove in yesterday, you will know exactly where it's at, and you know how to stay away from it.
Oh, I mean, that's awesome thinking. That's wonderful knowledge to have. You said we have to ask. One of the problems that I find out about people is that, again, we think it's all about ourselves, and we don't want to ask because we embarrass, or we don't want people to think we don't have certain things. But the Bible clearly states, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, and knock and the door shall be opened unto you.
Hold on. You know, ask is A,
yes.
Seek is S,
yes.
and knock is K, and that's the word, ask.
That's right. That the acronym for that is, yeah, absolutely, ask, seek, knock. And so, yeah, absolutely. And but the other aspect again is to be grateful. I think of the 10 lepers that Jesus healed, and one of them came back and said, thank you. And Jesus said, where are the other 9? And by the way, the one who came back and said thanks, he's a stranger. You talk about family. Sometimes it's the family, is the people that's supposed to push you forward that push you back. It's unfortunate, but it happens. And when that happens, we get discouraged. We have grudges in our hearts. We hate, and so on and so forth. And my experience is, you don't hold grudges. You let it go. And I don't want to preach a whole sermon, but the person that tends to I look at is Joseph. And maybe because my last name is Joseph, it resonates with me so much. His brothers sold him into slavery, and he had an opportunity to take revenge. but he said, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. And so sometimes even those negative things that happen to you along your journey is a way of propelling you to what you really ought to do and what you really should be. You talk about you want to be an attorney, you fail the bar, and yes, you get frustrated and you might want, but maybe that's not the road you really should go. And so instead of being an attorney, you become something else. And there you find your spouse. You would not have found her if you hadn't got over there, or you have your children, you couldn't have them. It's amazing how this works. And so when I speak to young people who look at others with their houses and gold and silver, they get frustrated because at 26, they are not there yet. And they feel, oh, how come he or she is there and I'm not? What they don't understand many times is that person who is there now, they went through some struggles to get there. And so you don't have to be there like them, but in 10 years from now, maybe it's your turn. Speak to that for me, please.
Well, what I try to tell people, though, is don't look so much so at the outside of the house. Do you know how they live on the inside? You don't. So be careful what you asked for. They might have a 10-bedroom house, but they are miserable in that house. You might have a 1-bedroom house, but you are comfortable because you're living within your means. And that 1-bedroom house might be precisely the house that is fitted for you. So unfortunately, we're living in an environment where we compare ourselves with others. The best thing we can do is to determine as early as we possibly can, what it is do I want to make, what do I want from my life? It's your life, because the Bible tells us each one of us shall give account, not of someone else's life, but of our life. In his infinite wisdom, the Father crafted you like no one else. I gave a message one time that the AAA, you have the authority, the authenticity, and the ability to do whatever it is that you want. Because Genesis 1:26 tells us, in the beginning, God created man. But he did not stop there. He gave us knowledge and wisdom so we could use that knowledge and wisdom to create the kind of life that we want. Now, the knowledge and wisdom that he gave me is not the same that he gave you. We are different. And as long as I live, as long as mankind walk this earth, there will never be another one who talks like you, walks like you, does what you do in the very same way that you do it. Now, even if now the medical practitioners will cloned you, they can only clone somebody who looks like you on the outside. They will never be able to clone someone who thinks like CB does. They might come close. They will never be able to clone someone who does what you do when you preach that message to your congregation. They might say the same thing, but not you. So we have to find a way to love that person that we look at in the mirror every day, and walk that we feel is the best walk for us to walk. Yes, I would love to have that Ferrari. But my RAV4 takes me exactly where I want to go, when I want to go, how it does the job. I tell people sometimes we spend so much money in a car, but the car spends more time idle than it's in use. You have a car, you drive to work, 8 hours work. Where's the car? It's parked.
Correct.
You sleep for 8 hours. Where's the car? It's parked.
Absolutely.
So if we put things in perspective, it will be easier for us to seek to improve ourselves than we try to prove to others. You have nothing to prove to anyone as long as what you're doing, the walk that you're walking, is the walk that you want to walk. Yes, others might feel, man, in my case, your brother is an attorney, your sister's a nurse practitioner, and all you're doing is teaching. My brother enjoys what he does. My sister loves what she does. And guess what? I'm having a blast. So we have to find it in ourselves. Unfortunately, we do not spend enough time with ourselves. For example, we get up in the morning, even if we're having a cup of coffee, guess what we do? We might turn the television on. Why can't we just have a cup of coffee with ourselves and just with nothing? After we have our cup of coffee, we get ourselves ready, we go to our car. Guess what we do the first thing? We turn on the music, or we turn on, we put on the iPod. We listen to external noise. Why can't we just take 5 minutes with ourselves and ask ourselves, what one thing can I do today that will make today a meaningful day? One thing. Or better yet, what 3 things I can do to bring a smile to someone else's face? And then go about and do it. And you have a positive day. So the more we find ways to keep the outside noise from getting on the inside, the more comfortable we'll be, the easier it will be for us to find joy in what we do, and the more energy we will have to help someone else find joy.
Oh, thank you so much. That is precious. Spend time with yourself, love yourself. I'm just repeating some of the nuggets that you have shared, which are important nuggets that we should take. Ask, the AAA: ability, authenticity, authority. I think that's awesome. I might borrow that and preach on that. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and that's great. And to associate yourself with people that have positive intent, people that look to, as they say, big you up, as opposed to people that want to push you down.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
We have 2 minutes and it's yours. Go right ahead.
On the authenticity piece, when I preached that message, what I said is, imagine when you go to that Nike store, you do everything you possibly can to ensure that that pair of sneakers that you're buying is authentically Nike. And when you, ladies, go to shop for your purses, you do everything to make sure that the purse that you're buying is authentically Michael Kors. But when it comes to the most important person in the world, you're trying to copy someone else. Something's wrong with that picture.
Something is wrong with that. Absolutely. That's a great analogy. I mean, yes, you want to, and again, it's the idea of showing people the facade. Look what I'm wearing. Look what I'm driving. And on the inside, there is pain and there is hurt and there is no self-love. And so it is what you invest in, the thing you invest in, what's important to you. Absolutely. I love that. And so make it authentic. Be honest. Be truthful. Not fake. But and we spend too much time watching what people put on Facebook or on the internet. And as you said, it's a facade. They put in something out there to make you think that's what it is, but on the inside, they're hurting. Their marriage is falling apart. Everything. I mean, again, not in all cases, but too many of us want to live our lives based on what we see, as opposed to using the ability that God has given us to work within our strengths and to be happy and grateful and thankful for what we have. I am so happy that we could spend this few minutes together.
We done? That's it? I thought I just got started.
Time flies, and that was an introduction, my friend. I'm sure I will more than likely bring you back again on CV's Corner, because at CV's Corner, we aim to inspire, to encourage, and to speak positivity. And you certainly hit the ball out of the park.
I was a fast bowler, and I was a number Philip in my days.
Really?
I used to do that, but I preferred soccer than cricket.
All right. Well,
I could do my thing.
You did an awesome job, my brother.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I am privileged to have had you. I'm going to give you, I think we have 1 more minute. Just take that minute to encourage somebody who might be feeling that they are in the doldrums at the moment.
Well, what I want to do is to thank my mother, because you mentioned gratitude so many times. Thank my mother, thank my sister, and thank everyone who you have touched. And I want to encourage them to pay more attention to who they are and less attention to what everyone else is doing. Because you bring about what you think about. It has been said time and time again. Your mind is like the soil. Whatever you drop into it, it's going to take root. Make sure what you're dropping in your mind are the things that you would like to harvest tomorrow.
Praise on that note, no seed planted and no harvest down the road. Amen. Thank you so much, my brother.
You're very welcome.
To you once again. May the Lord bless you in the city. May the Lord bless you in the field. May the Lord bless you when you rise. May the Lord bless you when you sit down. You are a star, so go ahead and shine. Until next time, yours truly saying peace and love. Nice to see you, my brother.
Thank you.
People say I've got a great smile. Well, I have to say, this is all thanks to the professional team at Beacon Dental Group right here in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I've got world-class dental care. Beacon Dental Group has expert and caring staff dedicated to providing the most advanced and satisfactory treatment in all aspects of oral health. Their services are designed to meet your needs and give you a perfect smile, too. General checkups, cosmetic surgery, Gemini laser service, and advanced procedures, all in a state-of-the-art facility. Call or visit Beacon Dental Group today, 1026 Blue Hill Avenue, Dorchester, Massachusetts, or call 617-282-2146 for a smile that lights the world.